One of the biggest things you need to do every single day, and I know I'm kind of a stickler for this, but I think one of the best ways to get in tune with the markets is whether you trade or not, you should be building a watch list every single day and tracking those stocks and ultimately seeing what they do. Today, I'm going to step you through that process as quickly as I can. Hey everyone, lead trainer with StocksToTrade, Tim Bohen here. Be sure to share these videos with your friends, like them, ring that bell. Lately, I've been going live every single day. Every morning, we're breaking down stocks, and I tell you, it's fun because every morning I go live. You guys are sending me ideas. I'm breaking those down, and we have nailed some calls. I mean, as recently as yesterday, APVO and SAVA were two of the biggest movers. We broke them down, had the trade plan laid out in detail at 8:30 a.m., and the moves came in the afternoon. So that's the great thing about these lives. Every day, they're free. I'm there, 100% answering questions. They're fun. I show up every day looking to have a good time and help all of you. So ring that bell to be notified as soon as I go live. And then we have a bunch of other stuff. Talk about patterns. Talk about screeners. I'm going to do a little bit of that today. We talk about Oracle. We talk about a million different things. We got the podcast. There's so much awesome content on this channel. I want you to know about it, and I want your friends and family to know about it too. So be sure to share them. Then, if you're enjoying these videos, if you like the energy, if you like the way I get into the details, check out the Steady Trade team. Twice a day, every single day, 3 times a day actually on Mondays. I go live in a small group. It's a great group that's focused on being the best trader they can be. And I act as kind of the coach of that team, the lead mentor, as they say. And it's just a great way. And it's fun. We learn every day. We bounce ideas off each other. It's a great community. I think it's the best chat room out there. Check out the Steady Trade team. I look forward to working with you. All right. That being said, let's get to work. All right. So StocksToTrade has a bunch of great tools. Definitely check out the trial if you're not already using it. You can. The great thing about the trial, fully functioning. So it's a time limited trial, but every feature is available to you. So anything I go over today, it's not like you're going to click a box and it says, "Oh, trial only." That's the cool thing is for the length of the trial, you get access to every single feature. You can do exactly what I'm going to do today. So let's start. Let's get started. So I start my day, number one, I don't want to scare you. You don't have to do the same thing. But I start my day at 4:30 a.m. First thing I do is I get up, I start looking at what the SPY is doing, the S&P 500. You can watch the Dow Jones. I think the SPY is a better gauge simply because it's 500 stocks versus 30 like the Dow Jones is. And so I'm getting a read of what the market is doing. So you can see today we had a huge gap up. We're post a couple days past the election. We've erased all that shaky area before the election. So big gap up. What's that tell me? That tells me, okay, the sentiment is bullish. Now, if we got a big gap down, maybe I'm thinking, okay, things are a little shaky out there. Maybe I'm thinking about shorting some recent big runners. But for today, we're talking about a big gap up. We're not far from the high of day as I'm recording midday here. I'm bullish. So in the morning, I'm bullish. I'm looking for stocks that I know have a potential to run through the day. Then I'm going to jump over and I'm going to run the built-in biggest percent gainer scan. Now, this is a widget up there in the upper left, and this is showing me all of the stocks less than $20. Now, remember, you can build custom screeners, and we talk about that a lot on the other videos, but this is a quick widget that only shows me the biggest movers under $20 that have volume. So now I can quickly see what's going on. What are the big movers of the day? Are these former runners? What's the volume? What's the float? What's the percent gain? What's the news? All of these things are available. I'm going to start jotting down notes and I'm going to start breaking these ideas down. So top percent gainers is a great way. Next one is just a simple pre-market liquidity scan is what I run it. So we're recording midday right now, so I'm going to run this scan. You're going to get a lot more results than you normally would in pre-market when you should be building your watch list. But you can see it's a simple scan. I'm just looking for stocks that are up more than 10% and are trading more than 50,000 shares. Most days, early in the morning, especially from, again, I know I talk about getting up super early, but For you, I think everyone should be building their watch list between 7 and 9 a.m. Okay, you don't have to be crazy like me and get up that early. So most days between 7 and 9 a.m., you're probably going to have 15 or 20 stocks that are the biggest movers that have volume. And so this scan very quickly gives that to you. And actually, I'm just going to adjust it real quick, and we'll go to 500,000 since it's midday, and you can see it cut the number of matches in half. And now I can start looking for stocks that are interesting to me, that are in my price range. You know, Opti was a big OTC pink sheet runner from this morning. You know, why do I know that? It was on my watch list, so it jumps out at me on the scan. I knew that this was gapping up. They had some crazy news. That's one of the great things about StocksToTrade. You've got your news feed right on your chart. Notice how that was one click from the screener to jump to the total view. I can see it's gapping up. I can see it's got news. I can see it's a low float stock. All these things we look for. And then ultimately, you know, it opened at 6 cents, ran as high as 8, ran again midday. Look at that beautiful VWAP reclaim, by the way, right there at one of the favorite times of day, that midday window. Broke the high day and ran again. Now, I know it's only 2 cents a share, but when you're talking about a stock that was 2 cents a share yesterday, that's a big move. And, you know, a lot of these OTCs are lower price stocks. So that's the great thing, is I can quickly see stocks with liquidity that are former runners. And then I can also start dialing down. You know, if you watch these stocks a lot, you know I love low float stocks, especially for day trades. So I can quickly add a criteria of less than that 10 million float area that we look at and really start dialing down. So now you can see with 2 clicks, I went from 400 stocks down to 37. Opti is one of the lists on there. You know, we've got other HOFV was this morning's huge squeezer. I think it went from, if I remember right, from like 2 to 6 this morning. Big move. Again, had news. And the great thing, another feature, is I can add in news. So now I can filter by whether or not the stock has news. You can see APVO. Oh, gee, what? Oh, this is why I love low price stocks. Oh my gosh. We talked about this one this morning as a potential red to green. And this stock, oh my gosh. Welcome to 2020. Welcome to 2021, my friends. I did not realize this is at 25. Wow, incredible. You know, again, you can go to my personal Instagram. It's TBOHEN. I did a video yesterday on a high day break on this thing at $9. It's at 25 and just hit the high of the day. But let's get back to building a watch list. I'm too much of a nerd. I get distracted by this stuff too easy. Anyway, you can see APVO, 5 news articles today. That tells you that there's a constant news flow. You go down to Opti, the other stock I talked about, 1 news article. So that just shows you that I can drill down by all of these different criteria. Okay, next thing I'm going to do after I run my scans, after I get all my interesting stocks that are ideally low float, have volume, next I'm going to start looking at that 1 year, 1 day chart. I think that is the best way to detect breakouts. Oh, APVO, so pretty. Look at that. Look at that 1 year breakout at $10 from 2 days ago. And look at that. You know, and maybe you're not familiar with Japanese candlesticks. If you aren't, we do a lot of video talking about candlesticks. Big pullback yesterday to that $10 level, and then that just becomes that launch pad. And you can see this is a beautiful chart. You can see the volume. So this was 100% on my watch list this morning. And actually, speaking of the Steady Trade team, you know, the great thing is I keep notes every single webinar, and we talk about all the stocks that we look for every single day. And APVO was right on the watch list, right out of the bat as a potential red to green yesterday as well as today. You know, these are just all the notes that I keep every single day that we can build together. And when you're in the Steady Trade team, you get access to all of these notes. I've done 2,534 webinars. Every webinar annotated, time-stamped, everything's tracked. You get full access to it all in the Steady Trade team. All right, so now I've got a stock that's breaking out. it's low float, it's got news. This means it's at the top of my list. And now I drill down to that intraday chart, we call it. So now I'm looking at a 1 day or a 2 day, 5-minute chart, and I'm going to start picking out my levels. If you're familiar with my top 5 favorite patterns, which is an ebook that I talk about a lot, you know we love the squeezer, it's called. What is the squeezer? That is a low float stock that's held up for multiple days that breaks the previous day's high. And today, that was 19. Also a whole dollar, half dollar. That was resistance last night. You can see after the stock makes that red to green at 17, it breaks and it blasts off through the roof. So what's great, 7, 8 a.m., I know I got a chart pattern, I got a low float stock, I got a beautiful breakout. There's a nonstop flow of information coming out. We got 5 news articles. It's traded millions of shares in pre-market. All the stars align. So that being said, this is exactly what you want to look for every single day as a day trader. You've got the top percent gainers. You've got Screener Plus with all of these criteria. If you're in the Steady Trade team, I share 10 plus custom scans with you that can help you spot these. You know the float's there. You know the potential is there because of the daily chart, because of the float rotation, because of the market gapping up. I mean, market's been crazy bullish the last couple days. All of the stars align, and this was the number 1 trade 3 days in a row. And that's what's great about showing up every day. That's why I want you here every day, because let's say, today's Thursday. This ran Tuesday, Wednesday, and now today. Listen, most of you are probably new. Most of you are probably part-time traders. Maybe you have a job. Maybe you have work. Maybe you have school. Maybe you have kids. Maybe you got all of the above. If you show up every day and you use these tools, APVO would have been on your radar yesterday, would have been on the day before, and let's say today, Thursday, maybe you got Thursdays off, or maybe your workload is lighter. All of the things I talked about, all of the things you would have known by being here every day, running this big percent gainer scan, looking at the float, looking at the news, looking at the chart pattern, focusing on these top 5 patterns that I talk about all the time, you could have been prepared 7, 8 a.m. for that big move right here at noon when this stock went from 17 to 25 and it just came out of a halt and she's hitting a new high day. And, it's just these stocks can be traded over and over again. And this is how you grow your account. If you're under the PDT or if you've got a small account, this is what you have to focus on. I know it's a $26 stock. Most of you might be like, well, wait, I thought the only way to grow your account was with low price stocks. Remember, 3 days ago, this was a $6 stock, okay? You want to focus on range. You want to focus on potential. And if you can make multiple dollars a share, let's say you got a small account. You have 100 shares of APVO at 19. It's a $1,900 position. And you catch $5 a share, $6 a share. That's $600 in profit on a $1,900 position. The only way you can do that consistently and repeatably is in low float stocks with news with the top 5 favorite patterns. All right, everyone. There's a million other features in Stocks to Trade. Definitely check it out. Sign up for the trial. We have a ton of videos on the YouTube. We also have the Stocks to Trade University. When you're an active subscriber of Stocks to Trade, I put a ton of videos out there, exactly like the running the scans, getting into the nitty gritty of the platform. I don't know anybody that puts out the amount of educational content specific to the software we do. Listen, Stocks to Trade is a sophisticated tool. There's a million features. It's infinitely configurable. I think, at Stocks to Trade, we put out the best how-to information to maximize it. It's one thing to have, you think of like the airplane cockpit. If you've got all these instruments and all these tools, doesn't do you any good if you don't know how to read those instruments. I think we do that in the Stocks to Trade University. Oh, APVO, so beautiful. As a 15-year veteran of momentum stocks, it brings a tear to my eye. Why am I recording YouTube videos right now? I should be So anyway, have a great day, everyone. Check out the Steady Trade team. Check out all the videos. Get the trial. Check out the podcast. I love talking stocks. Hopefully it shows through. Would love to see you in the Steady Trade team. And drop me a comment below. Did you nail APVO or something like it? These are the best potential. I mean, look at that. 3 million float, 18 million shares, and it's 2 p.m. We love 2 p.m. moves too. So, all right. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you next time.